That's what we figured out, Chief. Harvey's a lefty, uh-huh.
Well, you're pretty sure of yourself, ain't you, Virgil? Virgil, that's a funny name for a boy that comes from Philadelphia. What do they call you up there?
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Welcome back to Legacy on Screen. I'm Dr. A.Y. Heath. You can call me Angel. I am your host, and welcome to Black History Month. And to launch our journey into celebrating the arts and entertainment and the influences some of those who have came before us have brought to it, I thought it'd be great to start with one of the legends, the one who set the tone, the one giant who walked with grace. Today we talk about Sidney Poitier. There are names that feel carved into the foundation of cinema. Names that don't just show up in the credits, but in history, in identity, and hope, and inspiration. Sidney Poitier was one of those names. When the world told Black artists to wait their turn, Poitier became the turn. When roles were written to belittle or erase, he refused. And when the industry doubted that a Black man could carry a film or a generation, he did both, with grace, with elegance, and conviction. He wasn't just the first Black actor to win an Academy Award for Best Actor. He was one of the first to do it while carrying the full weight of representation. With every eye watching, every door still half closed. In Lilies of the Field, he didn't just perform. He offered dignity, spiritual grace, and quiet power. And the world had no choice but to stand and applaud. But Sidney Poitier's story doesn't start or end with an Oscar. Sidney Poitier grew up in the Bahamas, came to America with barely $1, and taught himself to read scripts phonetically when he was told he couldn't act. He faced rejection from every angle. His accent, his skin, his presence. But instead of shrinking, he sharpened. And in time, that sharpened steel cut through Hollywood's ignorance. Through films like The Defiant Ones, A Raisin in the Sun, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Poitier became a mirror, not just to Black America, but to white audiences who had never been asked to truly see. He was unapologetic, even when the world wanted softness. He was poised, even when the roles were written in pieces. And above all, he was principled, turning down roles that didn't respect his community, even when that meant waiting, even when it cost him. He gave us characters who didn't beg to be understood. They expected to be. He brought to the screen a Black man who was intelligent, articulate, forceful, and deeply human. Not because it was trendy, but because it was true. In 1967 alone, he starred in the Heat of the Night, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and To Sir with Love. 3 films, 1 year. An entire cultural shift. Each one. Poitier stood tall, unafraid to speak, to stare back, to take up space. And for many of us watching, back then and now, that was the moment the needle moved. And it didn't stop with acting. He became a director, producer, and ambassador. He helmed comedies, mentored young actors, and built bridges where there had been none. His very existence in those spaces created a blueprint. Proof that excellence, even when it's the only thing you're allowed to bring, can still open doors. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, an honorary Oscar, a knighthood, everything. But the true reward is the generation of artists who followed. Denzel, Viola, Halle, Chadwick, who all speak his name with reverence, because he wasn't just the first, he was the foundation. Sidney Poitier didn't play sidekicks. He didn't play caricatures. He played men. And in doing so, he made it possible for Black storytellers to imagine something more, something fuller, something truer. On and off the screen, his characters had presence. His characters had pride. His characters had dignity. And that was something new to the community, to the screen, to society. Today's audiences are driven by different things, different culture shocks, different confusions, different aspirations, and different things that distract us about the many people from different cultures existing together, side by side. One of the reasons why we see some of these great actors on the screen today is because of people like Sidney Poitier. And if you haven't made yourself familiar with the work of this great actor, I challenge you this month to take a moment and watch some of his great work, because I promise you, there's a channel out there right now through the month of February that will be showing all of his great works. And you too will see why some of your parents or grandparents absolutely adored him, just like my mom did. You see, he reminded us that legacy isn't just about what you win. It's about what you change. And Sidney Poitier changed everything. Thank you for stopping by to visit. I hope you enjoyed this show. And I hope to see you later on in the month as we celebrate Black History Month here at the LA Film School Honor Society. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.